So I'm joined here with the captain of our Call of Duty team, Toons. Would you like to give a quick introduction to yourself?
Sure, I'm Jacob or Toons or Goat Toons, captain of Humber COD for 2 seasons now. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just graduated out of Humber with my Bachelor of Commerce in Business Management, and yeah, looking to get another W this year.
So I'm going to run some numbers by you. So this is the team's record in the regular season: 17-0 overall, 19-0 on hardpoints, 17-0 in dominations, 15-2 in search and destroys, for a total of a 51-2 map count. This does not include the win streak from last year. So, with that being said, how is the team's confidence going into playoffs?
Um, Going into playoffs, I mean, we're confident in our own abilities. We know we're all very skilled players, and if we work together, we can easily win. We've played 2 rounds so far against 2 teams, and we're doing okay. We had a couple map losses, just in search and destroy again. There's just been some close games. We're like I said, we're really confident. We just need to make sure our team works all together. Because at the end of the day, it is a team game, and that's what's going to cost us in the end if we end up losing it all. So we're pretty confident. Yeah.
Would you say that there's been a mindset shift in the team to like getting more serious when it came to playoffs?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the whole season we probably scrimmed maybe once or practiced once together, and now I think we've played every day for the past like week or so. We've been recording our games, like looking over the VODs, trying to fix our mistakes as a team. And yeah, we've definitely taken it a lot serious, like more serious. Like even in our 2 playoff games we've played so far, we were like a lot more passionate about it and trying to like make sure that we win and not just kind of like fool around towards the end when we were close to winning. Just made sure we had our foot on the pedal the whole time.
So this is a little unrelated to the actual team, but how are the maps decided when it comes to matches?
So they have this ban and pick format where you pretty I don't know exactly how it works because I do it, but like I kind of just like let the other team like just tell me what to do and I just do it because it's complicated and I don't know who's home or away usually. So um, it's like a ban thing. I think one team bans, the other team bans, the other team picks. So it's all kind of like it's all just kind of like whatever team doesn't want to play a map and what team does want to play a map. But for us in specific, we have like a whole spreadsheet made on all the teams we're about to play, how many times they've played each map, how many times they've won. So it kind of gives us like an edge on what maps we shouldn't be playing against them and what maps we probably want to try to play against them. So it's been really helpful in that sense.
When I watch the CCL streams, a lot of times when they talk about you guys, they refer a lot to the good individual skill, where I forget exactly who you guys were facing, but they were putting a lot of emphasis on. It's like, well, this team that Humber's facing, it's not like they're a bad team. They're playing the map pretty well, but it just all their efforts are kind of getting shot down because the Humber players are, just better mechanically. Do you feel like the narrative of Humber just being the good mechanically strong team doesn't give enough credit to the effort you guys put in as a team?
Um, yeah, for sure. I can see where they're coming from when they do say that. From an outside looking in, it does just look like we're just like slaughtering the other team in like kills and stuff. Like we have a big difference in kills. So like you said, I think it was LVC we were playing against. They were playing the map super well, but we were just shutting them down every single time they tried to make the right play. But yeah, it does kind of take away from the fact that we're not just mechanically like skilled. We're also very like team oriented, and sometimes it doesn't show because we do make a lot of flashy like individual plays. But our communication when it comes down to it is very well and very organized. Um, and we do put a lot of time. Well, we have been putting a lot of time into working together and like really understanding how to play the map as perfect as we can the past little while. So yeah, it does kind of take away from like our actual like thinking behind the game and kind of just puts an emphasis on, oh, we're just out killing the other team or out slaying the other team, so we're just winning.
Mm-hmm. Like, definitely, I would say that there's times where I feel like when I watch the COD team play, and I ran this by Checo and he kind of agreed, where I do, if I see a mistake from the Humber side, I do think it just kind of gets chalked up to a bit of overconfidence, just knowing like, oh, we've got these guys, so like, there's room for us to kind of maybe play too aggressive here where we don't really need to, but in the end we still walk away with the win, so it works out. But kind of transitioning, how are you guys preparing for search and destroy?
Yeah, for search and destroy, that's been our like weakest game mode throughout the regular season and even into playoffs. We've lost 2 S&Ds actually we've lost both S&Ds we've played so far in playoffs, which is really concerning. But this last week or so, every day we've been going over like one map at a time and like making strategies and like um, really pinpointing what we should be doing on each kind of like situation throughout the map. Before we kind of just like didn't go over anything, so we kind of just like said, hey, like we're all good players, so just do what you want to do. We believe in you, like no matter what you do, so just go do it. And against these teams that are well practiced and well prepared, that doesn't really work so well, as you can see from our playoff run so far. So we really just been going over strategy and like really trying to pinpoint like what we should be doing and like different ways to retake a bomb site and just different strategies in general. So I think coming up in our next couple games, we'll be playing. Our search and destroy is going to be a lot better and a lot more organized. That's for sure.
Like definitely having a lot more of a pre-plan going into it instead of just kind of reacting.
Yeah, exactly.
On a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, like because before we were just kind of like, oh, let's go to the A bomb site this round, and no one knew where they were going. They were just running at the bomb site and trying to like individually outskill the other team. When in reality, in search and destroy, you can do that, but it's really hard to, especially if the other team's like well set up. Yeah, we've been just working on that.
I ran this by Checo. There was a time where you guys are the defending champions, you're undefeated, but yet when it came to kind of like the voted power rankings, you guys were second, and that was behind this team from Texas. I want to say it's Texas A&M. I'm not sure if it's called Texas A&M. How do you guys feel your odds are against them?
They're a really good team, so I think it's gonna be really tough. Honestly, I think it'll be like extremely hard. I do have confidence in like our whole team though, so I think if we get them on a good day, like if we're playing really well that day and they have like not an off day, but they're just not all playing to like the level they should be playing at, I think we can beat them. If they're all playing at the top of their game and one of us is having a bad day, it's going to be extremely hard to like outskill them or even just outmaneuver them on the map. So it's going to be a good game if we do end up playing them, which I'm assuming we will. But if not, yeah, I don't. It's going to be a good series regardless. It's tough.
It's definitely when I was thinking about if you guys were to face Texas A&M, it's definitely easy to be concerned where it's like, well, if you guys were to like drop a hard point or a domination against them, then suddenly now you have to win a search and destroy, which has been, I mean, not even that much of a weakness, but it has been the weak point of the team. So it's definitely been something to think about. But moving beyond the playoffs, I remember when I last interviewed you, you told me that you were going to be going elsewhere for this next year. Have you been talking to them at all, or like specifically their Call of Duty team to see if you could find yourself positioned there?
Nothing yet. I do plan on doing that. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit until I get on campus. I know a couple people right now that do go to Sheridan, so I'm thinking we'll make a team. Right now they don't currently have one, but I think one of my friends was in talks with them last year, and they were happy with making one, and they just couldn't find enough players. But I think this year it should be a little easier too. So no, I haven't talked to them yet, but I'm planning on doing it very early on the school year and trying to get something established and getting my name in there, and hopefully we can make something happen. But if not, I'm more than happy just to grind out school and walk away at the end of it.
Very recently, you played in a Toronto Ultra tournament. Would you be able to just kind of reflect on what that was all about?
Sure. So we played in the Northern Rivals Toronto Ultra tournament. I was playing with like some of my really old friends that I used to always play with and go to all the locals in Toronto. And we ended up getting like 8th or something. We didn't have our best showing on the second day. Our best player, my friend's little brother, had an off day, and I wasn't playing up to my full potential. So we kind of flustered, and we probably should have done a lot better. Probably got like 3rd or 4th or 2nd, I guess. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was a great time. My stream was doing really well. I had a great time playing with those guys. It's always fun playing with them. So it was a good day. It was entertaining at least, and it killed the day off of quarantine that we're in right now. So it was fun.
Actually, one thing that I really liked when I was processing through that VOD was, well, we did it separately. Me and some of the other guys, we kind of chopped it up and divided it. So I got kind of the end of your second stream, and I really liked seeing when you guys were doing callouts against the other team. It was just, oh, there's a guy there, there's a guy there. But when you guys were facing Dior, obviously Dior is also part of Humber. You guys were just like, oh, it's Dior. Dior's over there. So I just love the small implication that it was that Dior was the one guy that we had to focus on, which of course, woo woo go Humber, right? So
yeah, exactly. It's a lot different when you're playing against like people compared to just random people. Like when it's people like every single time you call them out, you just kind of like throw a little emphasis on their name, or it's like their nickname or their actual name, and compared to random people where you're calling them out by their full like gamer tags and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely fun.
It might even get into each other's heads a little bit, because it's like, well, he might normally do this, but what if I do this? But what if he knows I'm going to do this? That sort of thing.
Yeah, that, and like there's certain people like where you like when you kill them and you shoot their body, they just get like super upset. So especially when you know them personally and they know you get upset when they do it. If you do it to them, they just lose like full composure. It's hilarious.
It's just more reason to teabag them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you beat them in a round and you just unload your clip and start teabagging them. Yeah, and they just get so upset.
So final question before we wrap things up, I want to ask from you recently what I've seen. What is going on with you throwing grenades at your teammates?
I've always had a problem with that. I don't know why. I just like, I don't know. Ever since I started playing, I've always team-nated my like teammates, and like it's a problem. But like most of the time, I do call out I'm gonna throw a grenade, and my teammate just runs right into it, and I get unlucky. But yeah, it's it's definitely a problem. Hopefully, I don't do it at an important time. So usually it's whatever, but. Yeah.
That is fair, because there's definitely a couple times where I see you throw the grenade and there isn't any of your teammates in sight, and then just kind of like the second it leaves your hand, suddenly they're there, and it's like, oh, yeah. Well, that's bad.
Yeah, like it'll hit like them and like someone else, and like they die to it because it's like a friendly grenade compared to the other guy, and it's unlucky. I think I'm just unlucky when it comes to throwing grenades at this point.
So just to wrap things up, are there any thank yous or shoutouts that you want to give to anyone watching?
Yeah, sure. I want to give a big shout out to everyone at Humber, especially like Jackie, Jeff, Norm. Norm's been killing it with content this year. Guillermo, everyone that's really helped us throughout the years. Kevin too. Anyone who's helped us throughout the years, that's made this possible and given us the support that we've been given. I want to give a big shout out to like Dante, the whole Call of Duty team, Abbas, Stevie, Dylan, Louis, Eric. They've all been killing it this year. They've been really committed to it, which is something I'm really proud of. I just want to give a big shout out to everyone that's been supporting the Humber streams, the Humber Call of Duty team in general. And yeah, I just really thankful for the opportunity I was given here at Humber, and I'll always cherish it.
100%. Thank you very much for your time, and best of luck in the rest of the playoffs.
Thank you. I appreciate it.